Hey guys, I wanted to bring you along for a little crafting afternoon with me. I picked up some wood signs on the after Christmas holiday sale at Hobby Lobby. They will mark down, if it's marked Christmas like 2024, then they'll mark it down. So I got a whole bunch of blank wood signs for 75% off, I think. So I have this style, I have this small style, and then this style in a large one that you see down here. And then I'm going to be using my Poscas. They're my favorite for sign making. I also sometimes use the Molotow paint pens. Let's see, what else do I have? I stopped at Joann's and they had their spring and summer picks out. So I just grabbed a handful of things that I thought would go. And I'm going to be separating these and combining them to make just little bouquets that I will then place on the wood sign. And then I will likely, I'm envisioning tying the stems, wrapping the stems with ribbon and tying a bow with some of this spring ribbon. I've also got some dried lavender and some of these dried twigs. So yeah, let's just start. I'll start separating and we can see how it turns out. This is dried lavender that, again, I got from Joann's, and it smells lovely. I'm going to add this to this larger sign, but I wanted to mention these little pieces that have fallen off, blossoms, I guess. Save these because they look beautiful in wax seals. I'll do another video showing that, but I'm going to save these ones that have fallen off and put them in some wax seals. Okay, so I put my tallest stems in the back and kind of went down to the next level and then added this one for color. I think I turned it, if you noticed. I think I like it going longwise so I don't have to trim these. And then I'm going to wrap that middle and leave these out because these aren't the plastic ends. These are the pretty like dried ends, the actual plant. So I'm just going to wrap ribbon there in the middle and tie a bow, and then I'll put some lettering over on this side. And then I'm just going to speed this up and divide the rest of the flowers for each of the other signs and see how many we can get out of this bunch of flowers. So I was able to separate and put all my bundles together. You could see that I just glued the end of the ribbon, wrapped it, and then hot glued this end of the ribbon. And then some of them I just did like knot ties. Some of them I did some actual bows. Just whatever kind of went with it is what I went with. So I've got a couple variations here. Again, I just liked to cover the stems of these ones because they were the plastic floral wire stems. This one I did leave out because it's kind of that taped stem. It looked okay with the dried floral, so I just did a knot. I did 2 colors with it. I thought that turned out good. And then on the dried flowers, I just left the stems out also. So if you have a bunch and you want to do it, I think you can do it either way, whatever you prefer. That's how I did it. And so now that I've got my bundles, I can kind of place them on the signs and see what quote and what lettering will fit. So like this one is going to go with this sign. So I have space, you know, to do a word, 2, or a smaller lettering for a longer scripture type quote. Okay, so all my florals are wrapped. I haven't connected them to the signs yet. I'm either going to wire them or hot glue them, but I don't want to do that until I'm done with the lettering. So I'm ready to do the lettering, and I wanted to show you my favorite lettering markers for wooden signs are the Poscas. I like the 3M, here it is, the 3M and the 5M size for sign making. And I prefer the Poscas over something like the Sharpie oil-based, these ones here, or the Deco color. Because they're oil-based, they come out really glossy. And you may be going for that look, but personally I just like the Poscas because they have the matte look and fit in with the vibe of the sign and the background, kind of a more rustic look with that matte finish. So these are my favorites. They come in a variety of colors. The black is really crisp and clean. And let me show you some tricks about paint pens. If you've never used them, they need primed to get the paint to come out. So I always have just a little scratch paper handy. And to get a new one started, you just need to pump it. So here it is, brand new. It hasn't been used yet. I usually shake it a few times, and then you will pump it until the paint starts flowing. So you can see there on the nib, it's starting to come out. Pump it a couple more times, and then it's ready. And then as you're working, you'll want to pump it in between, you know, every 3 or 4 words, depending on how large they are. And then I always have the scratch paper because you don't want to pump on your sign because it can leak out sometimes. So I've got my pen pumped, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make one of these signs here. I'm going to be doing it freehand. If you're more comfortable, definitely draw a chalk line. You could put washi tape down, which is something, let me just show you really quick. So if I'm just doing one word, the washi tape is nice to keep a straight line. If I'm doing a layout that has several lines, then I probably need to use a ruler and some chalk, just very lightly so that it rubs off easily. And then I think that's about where I'm going to put my word in. I'm actually not going to do this one in calligraphy. I'm just going to do a small lowercase. We're going to keep it really minimal. I'm going to move this down. I'll show you 2 different styles. So in the end, I kind of want my flowers sitting like that. So I'm going to put my word here, and I'm going to use the word grace. So I think I am just going to do some lowercase lettering. So this one is pretty thin, but that allows me to go back and thicken it where I want to. The 5M Posca will give me more thicker lines, but where this was a smaller sign, I wanted to use the smaller tip. And I already need to pump it just a bit. Okay, and so I just wanted that really simple. I thought that would be cute on this little sign. I might stretch out the C just a bit. It looks a little spaced out. Again, you can pencil it first if you'd like, or chalk. You don't want to get the chalk too thick or it just gunks up your marker. And then when I attach this, that's kind of what it's going to look like. Let me show you a script style one. So if I have that there, I'm actually just going to do the same word just because I think it just goes well with the lavender. Or maybe I could do joy. Yeah, let's do joy. This one will be grace. This one will be joy. And I can do it in lettering, calligraphy style. Okay, so that's like my skeleton. Now I'll go back and thicken all the strokes that I want to and go over it for a second coat. Okay, and there is a script style one. So I'm going to go ahead and make the rest of my signs. You'll be able to see some with a few more words and how I might do some layouts. And I'm going to actually, there's got a little bumpy here. I'm going to touch that one up. That's what this 3M is nice for. Sometimes I'll use the 5M to make the thick strokes, and then I can touch up with the 3M. Okay, so the flowers just need adhered to these signs, and then I'm going to get started on my other designs. got all of the lettering done on each of the signs and the flowers wrapped as I'd hoped. Now we need to attach the flower bundles to the signs. You can use hot glue for this, but especially since I'll be reselling these and sending them across country, I am going to use wire to attach them. So I'm just using some flexible wire, some cutters, and a drill to put 2 holes to attach the bundle. I'm just kind of tucking it behind the wires. I'm going to show you how I do it with this next one. There's no specific measurements or anything. I'm just kind of looking, and I'm going to place 2 holes right about here. Grab my drill, and I don't want to go through the sign to the kitchen table, but I'm just going to hold it up a bit. If you've never used a drill, you can feel when it goes through the other side. It kind of jolts a little bit. And I'm just using this really thin drill bit. I'm going to go about that far apart for this thicker flower bundle. Okay, and then I can place that there. And I'm going to cut my piece of wire prior. It doesn't have to be anything specific, so I'm going to cut it. Oops, there we go. And I'm going to kind of form it just a little bit. Whatever, there's like floral wire, so whatever wire you have, this is a little bit stronger. Floral wire bends a little easier. This one I do need to kind of pre-shape, so I'm going to tuck it there behind the knot so the ribbons will hide it. And then I'm simply going to place it through each of the holes. And then make sure let's see, my knot turned a little bit. Make sure my flower is just how I want it. I can reach to the back there and pull that through. And then I want to get it as tight as possible, so I'm going to use the cutters. I mean, I can use my hands, but if I use these to kind of clamp it, I can get it a little bit more tight. So I'm going to clamp and pull and twist it tight, and then it will be secure and ready. Okay, and I will trim that off, but just so you can see that it's secure, it's not going to come off, and then I don't have to worry about it during shipping. It can move just slightly. And that one is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on each of the signs, and I will give you an overview of all the signs that we made in this little session. Perfect for spring, perfect do-it-yourself, perfect for gifts. Really, I will include the download with all of the quotes and layouts I use, so you're welcome to use those for inspiration on your own signs, and just enjoy, have fun, enjoy creating, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Let me know what else you want to see. Have a good day.